Alright, so here's just a basic tutorial for newbies like myself when it comes to Godot. I like to first off delete this, and then I'll make a few folders. Like let's do a scenes folder. Let's do a scripts folder. Let's do a materials folder for the sake of this tutorial. And let's do a like assets folder. Okay. Let's load up a 3D scene just because I like 3D games. And in order to have a world, we need a static body 3D, and we need to give that a shape. So let's do a mesh instance 3D and make that a box. Let's go ahead. Thought number lock was on, it was not. And look at this, we need a collision shape, right? So that way things can collide to it. Go ahead and do collision shape 3D. And because it was a child of this box shape will automatically fill it. Let's move that there. Non-uniform. Okay, we can ignore that. Let's name this world. And save it. Control S. Under scenes. Next, let's make a camera. Now we have a camera. Get a little preview right here. And let's go ahead and get some light going, right? Because if we hit play, select current. Pretty dark. So let's kind of make it look like this with this skybox. The way we do that is we need world environment, and then new environment, click on environment, come down to background, sky, click on sky, sky, new sky, click on sky again, sky material, just choose one of these. Now when you hit play, look at that, looks like that. Next, let's make some stuff happen, right? So I'm gonna start a new scene, 2D scene, and now it goes to our 2D mode. So this is overlaid onto our camera. So let's name this like button. So let me add a button to my button scene, and I need a script. This is gonna tell the button what to do and what it does. Now click on button. Let's just write button. And when I hit play, it's not here because this button's nowhere in here. I need to come down to my scenes. Oh, I need to save it. Save. Scenes. Button. Save. Come down here. Drag that in my scenes folder also. Put this in my scripts folder. Drag my button scene into my world scene. Just like that. And I can move this right there. Now when I hit play, there's my button. Front and center. Doesn't do anything yet. I want to make this button change the color of the world. Simple task, right? In order for this button to do anything, it needs to know what the world is. So that's where we get variables. So I'm going to type var, short for variable, and you can name it whatever you want. Like maybe that would work. But we're going to name it world. And world is equal to, watch this. I'm going to click on the world. And let's make it this, right? This is what we're changing the color of. So var world equals this. Now this error means that basically it's calling on this before the world exists. So we need to put at onReady. So it will wait until the game starts to make this variable real, to exist, to load it in. Next up, we need some materials. Let's do at onReady var red equals, well, let's make our material. So go to 3D. Just kind of makes sense in my mind to go back to 3D. Mesh instance. Click on the mesh. Come down here to material. New standard material. Click on that. Come down. Albedo. What did I say? Red. Come down to red. And now I'm going to save it. So save as. Go to my materials. Save it as red. There's my red. Let's make a blue one real quick. Blue. Save as blue. Come back over to my script. So make var red, drag red. Same thing. At onReady var blue equals blue. Now a little trick to make your game run a little better and faster, put preload and then preload that. Same here, preload. So now our button kind of knows what the world is, what the color red is, and what the color blue is. Now, let's start making the button work. So let's click on our button, come to node, here. Come to node, click pressed. Where's my button? Oh, button. Pressed. And now it'll attach this to our script. Connect. And it shoots us back to our script. On button pressed. Do nothing. Just keep going. That's what this means. So what we need to do is put world dot material override equals red. Now, material, you'll just learn these words. This is basically Godot's way of saying make the world red. So material override is like make the world red. Right? Now whenever I push play, look at that. It makes the world red. Let's make it blue again when I hit it again. This is where we need another variable. Is blue equals true, right? No, var is blue equals true. So we'll say if the world is blue, if is blue, make it red. Else, make it blue. Dot material override equals blue. Now that won't do anything because it'll just always think it's blue. So we need to change it to is blue equals false. And this one too, is blue equals true. Does that logic make sense? If it is blue, make it red. It is no longer red. Or is no longer blue. Otherwise, make it blue and change our variable to blue true. There we are. We're in action. Let's go into further on what a function is. Like, let's make a function color change. This will just help organize your code, and you can reuse it for other things a little faster. So we just copy this, paste it right there, and change all of this to color change. And we can erase this. Now, whenever the button's pressed, it'll run this block of code, and here's that block of code. That helps keep it organized. Let's also change what the button says. So let's go to our button script. We're already there. Let's put another variable, var text, button text. We'll just do var button, right? Var button equals, drag our button in there. Already. Let's put this at the top for organization's sake. We'll do, so here I'm going to write another function, update text, little parentheses, and we'll call our button dot text equals, and when you put little parentheses, that is where you will write what you want. Where is he at? This text to be in. So we'll change it to red. Now, why didn't it do anything? Because we need to put this function here. Update text. Button red. Text. Alright, I drugged the wrong thing in here. Button, this is my button. Now we can change this back to button. There. Now we want it to switch back and forth, so we need to do one of these again. So, if is blue, the button text will be red, and is actually, if it is not blue, our button text will be red. Else button dot text equals blue. There we are. Alright, so you can kind of see how that makes your code nice and organized. Alright, next I'm going to show you how to make a little character guy. So just come to Blender. Here's our square. And the simplest way I found to texture these things is come down to material. Let's make it a let's just leave it named material. Come down here to shader editor and let's find your material. Here, make it a cat. So come down here, drag color into base color, and if you come here, you now have a cat on here. If you hit tab, U for unwrap, click unwrap, now you can see, if you go to UV editor, you can kind of change how you want this to look, right? Scale it up, scale it down. Found the best way to do this is when you hit U, click cube projection. Kind of makes it look a little nicer. If I want this side to be just the face, click here, make it just the face, right? If I want this side to be a different color or different texture, I would plus, new texture, and name it whatever you want, like orange. Enter. Make it orange. And then while it's highlighted, click assign. Now we have our thing, whatever you want to import. File, export, GLTF2, name it cat, export back to Godot. Let's open this up and drag this into our assets folder. If you open up assets, double click that, click on the cube, save the file. Where do you want it saved? I want it saved in my assets, cat, save, re-import. Drag him in there. Now we need a cat character, right? So he's going to be a character body 3D. He needs a shape. Mesh instance 3. We need 3D, not 2D. Character body 3D. Mesh instance 3D. And we also need a collision shape, right? So you can collide with the world. Our mesh instance is going to be our cat. And our collision shape is just going to be a square, right? Let's go to 3D. There he is. Now, name him cat. Save. So if we come to our world, put this in our scenes folder, take our cat, should be a cat scene, there it is, cat scene. These guys, come back over here, we could drag our cat into our world right there. Make sure our camera can see him. Hit play. There we are. Let's make the cat do things. Come to our cat, attach script. If you go template and do a, actually attach him here. Come here, character body 3D, attach, click yes on template, create. Now it kind of gives you a base template. So whenever I hit play, my cat will be able to move all on its own using the arrow keys. Now let's say we want the button to affect the cat. So what we'll do is we'll make a another function called jump, and you can kind of look here, and if it is not on the floor, get gravity. If you press the jump button and it is on the floor, velocity y equals jump velocity. So all I need to do is copy this right there. Now whenever the jump function happens, it will jump the same way you press spacebar and it'll jump. So if we go to button, put var cat equals, and I call on it just like we did the other things. On ready. And let's do function cat jump. Cat dot jump. Let's just make it. There we go. Now we have a list of functions that happens whenever you press the button. Non-existent function jump in base node 3D. Is that saying there is no function jump in node 3D? But cat. Jump null instance. Null instance. Let me just make him a character body 3D. You get to see my troubleshooting process as well. Change type, character body 3D. I'm gonna move these guys under him, and then I'll just delete him. Now I can add my script right there. Move this to my scripts folder. Now, cat is my cat. Will that work? Non-existent function jump and base and my button. Cat dot jump. You know what? Maybe dot jump. So I'll just directly call this guy and say run your jump function. Will that work? Non-existent function jump in base node 2D. I think, yep, that was it. So this is telling this dot with the parentheses means this, like your parent, right? So we need to go all the way back up to the world, like our grandparent, and then call on the child, right? Like these are siblings. They're called siblings, but anyways, this is incorrect. If I drag him over, look at that. It's like go up to the world and then come back down to cat. That's your cat. So now when I write cat.jump, it will work. Clear as mud. Next, let's make it so when I click on the cat, it will also jump. So if I come to my cat and I need an area 3D, has no shape. So let's put the collision shape under the area 3D, so that way this collision shape will give him a shape as well. So when I click on area 3D, make a node, signal, mouse entered. Yes, add that to my cat script, and mouse exited. Add that to my cat script. So let's come to my cat script. And as you can see, mouse entered, mouse exited. I'm going to make a variable. Mouse entered. It's false. So mouse entered equals true. Mouse entered equals false. So I will say if on my process means it's just running constantly 24/7. I will say something like if mouse entered and input dot is mouse button pressed left, mouse button left, mouse button left. Again, this goes back to you just have to know like what to type here, and ChatGPT is great for helping you. If mouse entered and input is mouse button pressed, mouse button left, we will run jump. And then once the mouse exits, you'll no longer be able to jump. So let's play. But let's see if we can get him to come up. Now if I click on him, he can also jump. Amazing. And there's my basic how to code and make a video game. Lovely.